If I was relocating to Atlanta, here's where I would move to. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Victor, and we put out videos every week about what it's like to live in Atlanta. We talk about the homes in Atlanta, the communities, the schools, everything about living in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're thinking about moving here or you just have any questions about what it's like to live here, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. I'm the one who answers those phone calls and those text messages and those emails, and I'd be happy to help with your moving needs to Atlanta. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. We're always happy to help. But if I was relocating here to my home city of Atlanta, here's where I would move to. Now, it mainly just depends on your circumstances. So with my wife and kids, where I would want to move to would be one of the suburbs of Atlanta that is family friendly. And we'll get back to that in a second. But if I didn't have a wife and kids and I was single and I was wanting to live in a part of Metro Atlanta that was more suited for like the single lifestyle, I would choose Sandy Springs. This city is, in my opinion, one of the best in all of Metro Atlanta for having proximity to Atlanta, also having plenty of things to do and plenty of job opportunities, employers. This is really the thing that marks Sandy Springs. Sandy Springs is just north of Atlanta, and the main way that you would get from Atlanta to Sandy Springs is using either Highway 400 or Highway 9. Both of these roads kind of run parallel to each other, and they both go north and south from Sandy Springs to Atlanta. When it comes to buying a home here, there really are a lot of options. Most of the suburbs of Atlanta don't have a lot of condos. It's mostly single-family homes, but Sandy Springs is kind of the exception to the rule here. There are a lot of condos in Sandy Springs, especially for the city being a suburb. The average home value in this city is about 700,000, maybe closer to 800,000 if you're only looking at single family homes. But if we include condos, it's going to be a little closer to about 400,000 average for a condo in Sandy Springs. In general, the feel of this city is a bit like Atlanta, a little more so than one of the suburbs. The suburbs are very like quiet and family friendly, but Sandy Springs is very much like an extension of Atlanta, and there are many parts of the city that feel kind of urban like Atlanta. So lots of this city are easily walkable. So it's kind of easy to get around this suburb without a vehicle. Because this city doesn't really prioritize things like the public school system, you really don't find a lot of families here. It's mainly single people or transient people who are just here in Metro Atlanta temporarily. And so Sandy Springs is really best suited for that kind of lifestyle. Another great thing about living here is their city center or their downtown area. City Springs, which is at the intersection of Johnson Ferry Road and Highway 9, is like the city center for Sandy Springs. There is City Hall is there, and then there's also a lot of shopping and a lot of restaurants really within like a dense area there. They also have one of those super popular big green lawns that are familiar to a lot of the different suburbs around Metro Atlanta. But one of the best parts about living here is that there is still a lot of nature areas. There's still a lot of green space for an area that has so much urban spaces like Atlanta. It's surprising to see that Sandy Springs has so much green space as well. This is really one of the best parts about this city. It has a great mix of the urban feel and a great mix of different outdoor activities. The Chattahoochee River goes right by Sandy Springs, which provides lots of different outdoor activities. Now, if I was relocating to Atlanta with my wife and kids, so not living that single lifestyle, I would certainly choose one of the suburbs that was a bit farther out from Atlanta, a bit quieter and a bit more family friendly. And in my opinion, the best suburb that kind of suits that is going to be Marietta. Now, I currently live in Marietta, so I'm certainly a bit biased towards Marietta. I love the city that I live in, but I really do think that it is the best fit for a family who is looking for that kind of setting. Marietta has excellent home values, excellent public schools, lots of family-friendly activities. It's a very safe area. So in general, Marietta does a lot of things very well. It's certainly not the most expensive suburb, but it's also not the least expensive suburb to live in. I'd say the average home value right now in Sandy Springs is right around 500,000, maybe 450. Now, you can certainly get a home in Marietta as low as 350, but it would be a bit older and maybe would need some TLC. And then homes in the city go as high as 2 million. So there is certainly a big range of home values here in this city. In addition to that, we have some of the best public schools. Lassiter High School is a 10 out of 10 and Pope High School is a 10 out of 10. And these are some of the most popular parts of Marietta where these high schools are located. And when it comes to family-friendly activities, downtown Marietta or Marietta Square has lots of different things to offer for the family. This is the city center for Marietta, and right in the middle there is a park, and then all around Marietta Square are lots of different shopping and lots of restaurants all around there. Elon North is one of my favorites in Marietta Square. The Local is also one of the most popular restaurants there in Marietta Square. And then also they have the Marietta Market, which is like a big warehouse that they have kind of designed into a food court that's also right off of the square. Lots of great restaurant options in Marietta Market. Also in the weekends here in the square, there's a farmer's market, which is super popular. A lot of the local vendors bring their goods. A lot of farmers bring their produce there. So something that's super popular and something that you would definitely want to check out if you were in Marietta Square. Now, let's say I was wanting to move to Atlanta, but I didn't want to live in one of the suburbs. So if I wanted to live within the city of Atlanta, where would I want to move to? And I think the answer to that would be Midtown. Midtown is a very popular part of the city of Atlanta. It's a very safe area. It would put you right in the middle of the city, so very easy access to all the different parts of the city. Also nearby Midtown is Piedmont Park, which is one of the largest parks in all of Atlanta. And then to the west of Midtown is Westside Park. Westside Park is also one of the biggest. It may be the largest park in Atlanta, and it's relatively new, so it's a great area. Also there in Midtown, they have Atlantic Station. Currently, they have lots of Christmas festivities going on there in Midtown. It's certainly one of the best parts of Atlanta. And then lastly, if I was wanting to move to one of the suburbs of Atlanta, but not necessarily Marietta, my second favorite suburb is Suwanee. Suwanee is in Gwinnett County, and this is certainly one of the most popular parts of Metro Atlanta. They have some of the best school districts there in Suwanee and in Gwinnett County. Average home value here in this city is about 600,000. Lots of great community here in Suwanee. Most people who live in this area have lots of pride for their area, and so the neighbors there are very friendly. Also, the city center here in Suwanee, which is called Town Center, is a great area as well. A big park in the middle, an amphitheater. They have some of the best restaurants and shopping there in Town Center. And so overall, Suwanee is certainly one of the best suburbs in all of Metro Atlanta. If you want to know more about what it's like to live in Suwanee, including the cost of living in this city, check out this video. I'll see you there.